Yeah, well, hello there, folks. Welcome back to my channel. Hope each and every one of you are still truly well and blessed by our Lord and Savior. Seems like that thumbnail was for real, eh? Yeah, let's get away from here. Get outside. As you can see, winter's day here in sunny South Africa. It's afternoon time now. So yeah, what's going on today? Well, you saw the front mud guard. We will be diving in deeper into that, seeing what's going on and on and on. Then remember, live chat. If you are here when this video is premiering, I'll join us in the live chat, because there's gonna be loads of questions with that front mud guard, fender, whatever you call it. And then another thing, upcoming weekend, Busa Summit. I am going there. I will be making videos there, and that's probably going to be next Tuesday's video. And after that, it's the top ends. So yeah, let me stop yapping. Let's get back to that bike. Hopefully we can make a test run or two with that new front mud guard. And yeah, I can give you some feedback. All right, let's go. All right, folks, you know how it goes. Before we start the movie, remember, shout out time, sponsors of the channel, you know, all that lekker groceries. One new one in the live chat that got a free membership, Volkswagen CTI 1.8 or 1800. So yeah, welcome my man. And then another guy, this Heinrich Haug. Yeah, he joined Normal Aspirated also last week while we were in the live chat. So thanks my man for joining, and everyone else, thank you. And then Joanne Owlett today gets a name on the bike, turbo member. So yeah, thank all of you. And then yeah, just a quick recap. It's Tuesday today, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 3 more days, then it's the Hayabusa Summit. I'll be going there. I'll be making a lekker movie of it. And then if it's 3 days, it means 10 days till the top ends. 10 little days, then we've got top ends, people. All right, so yeah, let's stop yapping, get to the movie. Yeah, so folks, in the previous video where it ended, this bike was still like 70% stripped, no tailpiece, no side fairings, definitely no front nose, mudguard, fender, don't know what you call that. So yeah, I'll quickly do a walk around, show you what there is to see, things I didn't show you maybe in the video, or things I don't know, didn't mention, or I don't know, let's just say things you didn't see. So if you check here, this is not nose as I said previously, it is the air shifter's air. So the regulator and everything sits behind here. Well, you didn't see that when the tailpiece was off, so let me show you it from this side. You can get a better understanding. So there's a regulator which you can set. Then the thin black hose, that side's the one that goes to the gauge to show you it's working. And the thick blue line that comes around here, well, that goes to the air cylinder for the shifting. I did install the tank back on. We will remove that. The quick shifter, as I told you, the plug was broken. You can't see the plug now, but it is right up in there. And yeah, the bike fully back together. Let me show you how much room we've got for activities here at the back. One finger. So if I take the hump off, move it forward, Just look at it. Loads of space for my breather system. And you can check there. Just look at it. This is my hand going down. Loads of space, even to the front. You can see there underneath the seat. I don't even have to take the... Okay, if I could reach that button, I could check the state of the battery, but just to show you all the ins and outs. Then if you check here at the back, I didn't remove the plastic. It'll be easier to see if the tire is maybe touching or rubbing, but not supposed to. And then this point is just where you drain the top breather. Those is just not installed at the moment. So that's that. And then I did fit my GPS bracket. Nice one. I got off a bike I was stripping. It goes into the triple there, and you can check. I can still move the steering. Don't know how it's going to affect the helmet. If it gets in the way of my helmet, I can always just move it to the side. That's the lucky part from this, being able to move it. So yeah, we're going to have some questions, 5 frequently asked questions. I'll answer a couple of questions for you folks out there, so you can have a little bit of better understanding. And once we're done with all that, we are going to add a turbo member to the back, talk a bit about that front nose, if I'm going to use it, not going to use it. It's grey at the moment because we still, if you check there yesterday, I was still cutting on it. So it's still in the development phase or something like that. But we'll talk a bit about that. So yeah, let's get to that questions quickly. All right, folks. So another turbo member's name is coming on the bike. On the board you will see it's Joanne Howlett. It's actually Joanne Dalhousie. It's my wife. She wanted the name on the bike, and I was like, no free rides given. You want your name on the bike, 3 months turbo member. So yeah, quickly gonna do my best to write her name on the bike and not bugger it up on the first go. Old Farms. So yeah, Joanne, welcome. Oh, Edna, already.
Hello, Gracie. Hello.
So yeah, only the third turbo member to get the name on the bike. Papa gaan klas skryf. And apparently I'm starting to get good at this for the first try. Huh.
Maar jy het my hartjie gemaak hier.
Ja, as jy jou ma se naam opskryf. So yeah, welcome Joanne. Your name is on the bike. So yeah, quickly gonna let that dry and we'll get to that 5 questions. Okay, hi there folks. So I told you there were going to be 5 questions. We've got Tilly, my PA here. She's going to be asking the questions and I'll be answering them probably as truthfully as possible. So Tilly, say hello.
Hello.
All right. Hit me with a question.
Okay, so Ian is how much money has been invested in the bike so far?
Oh my soul. Yeah. If something should happen to me and you buy this bike from my wife, you'll get it at the bargain because it's much more than she thinks it cost. I don't know how much, but way more. That's the best answer I've got.
Okay, number 2. Do you honestly believe 500 km/h is possible?
Yeah, definitely. It has been done before. Bill Warner did it. Unfortunately, he lost his life during that, but he has done it. So that was back in, I think, 2004. He did 500 and something. So it's most definitely possible.
Okay. Number 3, what would count as a successful run if you don't reach 500 km/h?
Now, I've been asked this question many times. So, in my eyes, a successful run will be going faster than I've been before, which is 411. So I need 89 kilometers an hour more to reach 500. But if I can go at least 420, just faster than I've been, and keep on going up from there, that would be a success for me.
Okay. Number 4, how reliable is the engine with this much boost?
Yeah, good question. This is the same motor we ran last year. Last year we did 8 complete runs with it. And since last year, you've seen the videos in between in the year. We've did at least another 8 to 10 runs and a couple of dyno runs. So yeah, probably after this top ends, the motor would definitely have to come out, even if it's not broken. You will see I'm switching past second gear quickly because my second gear isn't broken, but it's hurt at the moment and I don't want to break it. So second gear is an issue at the moment. And then 2 years back when we built the motor, we had the issue with the head. So we installed the standard head on her. I've got a done up head with cams. The cams are in here at the moment, but it has valves and springs and stuff in, which this head is a stock standard head. No flow job, no springs, no valves. So we need to install the correct head also again. So yeah, how reliable it is? Well, until it goes bang, yeah, it's difficult. But if you look after it, I won't say it'll last. The power they make, they can do one run and break. But yeah, the Lord has blessed us so far, so she's lasting at the moment. Hopefully, this entire top ends this year.
Okay, ek voel die is 'n skorrelvraag. Are there any future bike builds planned?
Oh my soul, future bike builds. After the top ends, yes. If you guys if you folks are following the channel, there's a purple Turbo Busa, which I started building, and then we started the white one, and so the purple one still needs to get finished. There was a couple of hiccups, and I still need to finish those episodes on that one. There's a couple of small things here and there. Also, the yellow bike is not right. We still need to figure out what's going on there. So that, and then there's a Beking, another Beking coming. A very, very, very beautiful Beking that we are also turbocharging. And yeah, that after that one, there's a Street Fighter build coming. But yeah, there's loads of stuff coming, and obviously, whatever happens with the blue bike, we will still continue on. If we don't reach the 500, we will just continue on next year. I would like to thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity. He's like my number one supporter and everything. And without him, you don't even have to bother, because if you don't have the Lord on your side, it is meaningless to do the sport. So yeah, thank the Lord very much for giving me this and this opportunity to do this and to make videos for you folks out there, and having a nice personal assistant to help me with all the nitty-gritty stuff. And yeah, that's 5 questions. You will see the front mudguard is off at the moment because we fiberglassed it again. It's there at the back in the sun. So yeah, as soon as I can get that fitted, we will go and make a run, make some nice footage for you all. All right, so thanks for the 5 questions. If there's any other questions, leave them in the comments. I'll see how I can answer all of them. All right, dankie Tally.
Dis 'n plesier, Ines.
Yeah. All right, folks, so you see the mudguard is back on again. Still just fiberglass, but it looks a million times better. Everything is full and checked and in place. So quickly gonna go do a run, see what it does heat wise. We'll do a third gear pull, only third gear, and we'll somewhat check the quick shifter / air shifter while we're driving to that little spot of ours in Mexico. All right, so it's gonna get exciting. Let's go. Okay, folks, just got back from that run we just had, or the one you just saw. So I'm quickly going to pull the data, show you the data, and you saw it wasn't a wonderful run. Sometimes these roads in Mexico get quite busy, and I wasn't feeling too lucky about that, so I made half a run, and we don't know what this nose was going to do, so at least nothing's leaking or anything, but I'll show you once I've downloaded the data what can we see, or what did we see, or what happened, and yeah, then we'll end it from there. So yeah, give me a minute or two, start the laptop and everything, and I'll show you the data just now. Okay, folks, so here's a bit of the data. I hope you like data, because I've got loads of it, and if it interests you, well, I can show you. So this is only the run. If you check down here, it's from minute 13:20 to 14. If you saw in that run, I wasn't very happy or very lucky. The road, yeah, things were sketchy. So things to check for. What I can show you, let me just use this. You check, that's where I started. Neutral, move it, first gear, second gear, third gear. I said in the video, was going to do it on a third gear run. The blue line you see, well, that's actually the throttle or the TPS, so that's how much throttle I was giving it. And as you can see, I was a bit chicken footing it. 70, not really high. Then I went to 100, and closer to the end, I closed the throttle a bit. All right, so this blue line is the RPMs. So you saw first gear change, second gear change, third gear. Third gear, I went all the way to 10,800 plus minus. So that red line is boost, but you must minus 1 bar off it. So 100 is sea level, so it was about 2 bar boost. Because I let off the throttle, it didn't go into all the boost. So that's fine. If I was 100% throttle, it would have gone to 2.2, 2.4. But it doesn't matter. Then what else do we have here? We've got the RPMs, again, 10.7. And then the purple is the gear ratio. So the gear ratio is when you can see when the clutch is slipping or not slipping. So if I take it back, that's first gear, you see it's 35. And it stays about roughly 35. Then you go second gear, it's 47, stays there. And third gear, 59, 60. So if it starts slipping, the gear ratio will go crazy. It'll go up or down. I can't remember which way. But as you can see, there's no slippage, not even maybe 1% slippage, but nothing to write home to about. As I said, the TPS and then the gear indicator. This was only, as I say, that run. Then we go to temperatures. Or let's go to the fuel table. No, fuel table's got nothing. We want to see. Oh, let's go here, number 4. Temperatures. So remember now, we are 13 minutes into the run. No ice in the cooler, no wind through the radiator, stuff like that. So we start that run, and as you saw, I did fast forward it to where I started it, but 13 minutes in. Coolant, CLT, coolant level temperature, so that's the radiator, 79. Your normal operating temperature is 80 degrees, which is 100%. Then intake air, so that is the boost going into the motor. How hot is that water at that time? So that's not cooling. We are solely cooling with the water MEF injectors. All right, so 32 degrees. Sounds like very hot, but it's actually pretty cold for the amount of heat that's in that water at that moment. So again, going through the gears, third gear, let's go all the way to where we hit 10,700. So you can see the coolant level went up to 82, and I think it peaked on 83. So no worries with heat. The bike is at normal operating temperature. And then the intake air temp highest went to 55. That's after I slowed down. So before I slowed down, it was at 48. So the water MEF kept it, well, pretty freaking low. In the past, like last year, we had to adjust the intake air to stop cutting the bike out, and I think we went up to 70 degrees, which is not a nice place to be, but yeah, we were there. So let's see what other temps there are. That's just the EGTs and stuff like that. Fueling. The lambda sensor's got a target and where it is, and it tries to stay close to the target. Nothing I can show you there. So as I say, this was that entire run, 13 minutes. And let me show you, let's just go back to that temperature. We'll move this run. Oh, and here at the bottom you see fuel cut. So if there's any issue, you see no fuel cut, no issues. We'll go to the end of the run. Remember, I had to drive this bike all the way back. So as far as I went with you guys, this is now when I'm close to home. So yeah, close to home. There's a lot of stopping. Well, you know, you saw me driving from my home that side. So a lot of stopping and stuff. Coolant level 84 went up to 86. 86 is not even high enough to switch the fan on. That's ice cold. The intake air 44. Again, no cooling in front. And that is what, 22 minutes into the run. So perfect conditions. We can check here. My EGTs were like 500 degrees, so the bike was cold. Okay, and you can see the TPS. Not really revving the living daylights out of it. So yeah, folks, I hope you like data. That's all the data I think to give you. And yeah, if there's anything else you want to see, let me just quickly show you. Some people ask me, yeah, but how many things there is to look at? So you see, this is the channels that we are looking at here. Then I can go and I can select a channel. And then what do we put on that channel? Well, you can put anything, injectors, pulsing, charging times, whatever. So just look at that. Oh, let me take my finger away. 385 things I can select from. Air fuel fault, 80 fault, shift down, shift up. You can check everything on this thing. If you've got the sensors in place again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this data, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, wish us all, everyone, I wish everyone, Bertus, Sean, JR, yeah, there's so many guys, and I don't, Wouter, what's it, Wayne van Winkel, I think, I'm sorry if I screwed up your name. But even the people I don't mention, I wish each and every one of you the best of luck. The next video we will probably, the next video you guys will see next Tuesday will be on the Busa Summit. And the weekend after that, or next weekend, is the top ends. So there won't be any more videos on the blue bike until you can see the top ends and the results and yeah, all that lekker stuff. So folks, if you enjoyed what you saw, like, comment, share, become a member, I don't know, anything. Everything helps, and I appreciate each and every one of you. As I say, I'm still not sure about this nose. Well, now we know we can run it with no issues. And if you check, that's the amount of air that can go into the radiator. I had it smaller, but then I couldn't turn lacquer. So yeah, if you've been watching all this time, comment down below. I don't know, best of luck for the top paints for everyone. May the Lord bless each and every one of you. Thank you all for being with me on this journey, and yeah, see you next week. All right, God bless.